I've been wanting to say something for a very long time, and I've pretty much kept my little pie hole closed because I know how upset many of people get. And you know what? That's okay. I get upset too, but I'm also allowed to have my opinion, and here it goes. We are in the big book of Bull right now, and yes, does this have something to do with Nancy Guthrie? Yeah, it does. Maybe in a sort of kind of maybe sort of way. But I want to talk to you about something here. Okay? Here we are. NBC. Have you not learned your lesson? If you have anybody from NBC that's watching, here's the rant. Have you not learned your lesson, NBC? We have Nancy Guthrie, who went missing just a short time after you had your little homecoming special for Savannah Guthrie. Now, I get it. People like to see where somebody's from and all that. They took Nancy to their favorite place to eat. They almost went to her home, and then they're showing pictures of her making a bed at another segment with access of windows in her bedroom. Oh yeah, that's okay. We get views, Nancy. That's what it's all about. Well, what am I ranting about? They haven't learned a hill of beans. Because now Carson Daly, do y'all remember him? I remember him from MTV. Yes, I'm from the 1900s. I remember him when he first came on there. And now they're showing pictures of his family, his daughter, where they are, her soccer tournaments, her, pardon me, personal things, and they ain't learned a thing. See, that tortures me because of course they don't care. Of course, because you know what? It's all about ratings. Fight me if you not think so there, NBC, because guess what? I really thought you were going to have a big ratings grab to have Savannah come back, and it really doesn't look like that. In fact, I question things even more because now we have a game show. Is this not already a game show? But yeah, here we are, a game show. Wordle. With, that looks like frame, doesn't it? With Jimmy Fallon. Oh, sitting on the couch, pat, 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 happy, happy days. Listen, I got something that I want to say. If my mother, and especially 84 years old, I lost my mother. She was young, as far as I'm concerned. I'm older than what my mother was. Does that make sense? Yes, I am older than what she was when she passed away. Let me put it that way. I wouldn't be sitting on a sofa, pat, pat, pat. Oh, I'm so happy. Wordle game show. Listen, life goes on. I know that, and you have to do what you have to do. But what really is happening? What's really going on? Because first of all, why the game show? Usually when that happens, they move people around because the ratings aren't so good. That's the way it is. That's the production side of things. How do I know? Well, if my mother went missing, I would literally scorch the earth looking for her. And yet you hear nothing. Nothing. It's crickets. Nothing. Even from the ones that are localized. Nothing. Now, I understand law enforcement probably says to them, shut up. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Be quiet. Don't say anything. Look, I am offended by this behavior. I'm going to tell you why. Because all of you watching this, my darlings, you good, kind-hearted people, are praying night and day would go out there, including me, if I knew I wouldn't get in trouble. Remote viewing, sitting in front of her house. And you know what? Shame on that. Because putting up a chain in the driveway, who are you trying to keep out? The people that want to find your mother? Does that make any sense to anyone? It sure doesn't me. First of all, another thing that I'm going to say here. I know that they brought in cadaver dogs from Border Patrol. I know that. But they didn't last long, and I think that the sheriffs or the county was behind that one. Now, in all of my experience, this is my experience. I'm not saying that it is factual 100% across the board for every county, every jurisdiction, anything like that. But I'm going to say we have one of two things. You have missing people. You have criminal. Let me move this because you won't be able to figure it out if I do this. Criminal investigations. So you have a criminal investigation and a missing investigation. Now, it's not against the law to go missing. It may be against morals. It may be against how we feel about things, but it's not against the law to go missing. And that calls for the appropriate people to look and get involved. Most times you can get the dogs out. And in this case, I want to ask who didn't let the dogs out. They should have gone through. I've been in investigations before where dogs, if they're in the area, if someone's in that area, they'll find them. That's how good they are. The best trackers, I don't know if you know this or not, for missing people come from Alaska. If I were that popular, I'm going to say, in a production, I would be calling Alaska and saying, listen, what's it going to take to get you trackers down here to find our mother? Because obviously, Pima isn't doing it. And the feds are doing only what they can. Now, let's talk about this. If you have a criminal investigation, well, sometimes you might get the dogs out, but not so much. You get those really good detectives out that are investigating things. But my question here, my friends, is this. Who confused this investigation right from the beginning? Because we have a missing person. So is it criminal or is it missing? And the investigation, not Nancy. She's not an it. Is this a criminal investigation or is it a missing investigation? Or is it both? Because this is getting bothersome for many, many people, including me. You can hear it in my voice because I've pretty much had it. And it's not, listen, I will look for Nancy and I will look upon her until the end of my days because it's not right. But for some reason, let's say NBC wanted to capitalize on the misfortune of this family, and especially of Nancy. Who is the real victim here? It is Nancy Guthrie. Now, John Ramsey has been coming up a lot. And here we go. We're going to go straight into that bunny trail. We are just going to hop over there. There are pictures that are associated with those ranches. You know what I mean, of the island guy with Jean Benet. And it is definitely many sightings of, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, so don't be emailing me, don't tell me, Ghislaine Maxwell. And I do that for a reason. Of them being near Jean Benet, of her coming to pageants. Is it connected? Oh gosh, I certainly feel so. Now, you're going to say, but Zelda, how does Jean Benet Ramsey have a connection with Nancy? Well, first of all, that is an unsolved crime against a person, against a child. But I did not feel good when I saw those paintings and pictures of her. I know some of you have seen those. Now, we come back to Savannah. We know that there's a connection there. It kind of made it easy for people to figure out that, Nancy was at risk. So whomever was hired to do this deed against Nancy, and then of course we have a sheriff who just cannot get his timeline down. 2 minutes and 56 minutes. Separate instances, 2 minutes especially, and a garage door. Look, something is so sus there, and if I were you, Savannah, I would be hiring my own private investigator. I don't care what Pima says. Of course I care what the FBI says, but you know what? I would say, look, this guy's keeping this, he's holding things back. I want to know. Because listen, I know there's a lot of gumshoes out there that can find her if they would be put in place. The dogs. Why not Cajun Navy, Savannah? I don't like it. I would tell her to her face. I hope you're watching this. Because why aren't you going scorched earth over your mother instead of sitting on a sofa with Jimmy Fallon and talking about your new game show? Oh, my mother went missing. She's been missing now for over 3 months. Let's celebrate and have a game show. Yes, this is something we've been planning on since when? Since when? Now Hollywood is trying to get involved. Why? Because they want ratings. See, that whole thing to me is so sus. Come on. Do they even have a slight little needle's worth of compassion for Nancy? So my question to you, my darlings, because I want to really designate this, because most generally it's one or the other, but in this case it's both. And they're going around and talking about missing Nancy Guthrie, but who took her? Okay, well, it's criminal. No, it's missing. No, it's this. Yes, usually you do separate them, and in many cases they are not. This is both. This is a situation in which, and I know it's okay if it's okay if you get mad at me, because I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I want to know. Listen, if I had a mouse and my mouse went missing, I would be scorching earth to find my mouse. That's the way it is. Does anybody else feel really uneasy about this, or is it just me from being from the 1900s? Because I feel that there's something amiss here. There's something wrong, and I don't like it. There's something wrong here. This just does not. This doesn't figure. Of all of the cases that I've worked on for families, I don't work for law enforcement unless they come to me and say, listen, we need your help. And that is rare, but they do. I work for family. And the reality is they come to me many times and say, look, I think that law enforcement is just too busy. They dropped the ball, or they can't find my loved one, or whatever. We just need some additional help. I've talked to some people recently, and you know who you are, and I love you because you're so supportive. And I'm not going to tell your story because it's not my story to tell, but you can tell it. But this has been made public for over 3 months now. That's my question. Where's the family? Where is the family? What are they doing? Because you know what? The burden has been passed off worldwide to the general public. And you know what? If we weren't talking about it, would we hear about it again? Because many of you out there are so involved with this, it's painful. You're crying, you can't sleep, just the thought of what could happen. And that is so frightening and so sad, and I'm so sorry for you. But where's the response? Have you heard from this family? Have they come out and said, you know what, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for all the YouTubers, all the people sending flowers, sending gifts, sending your love, sending healing. We want to thank you so much for keeping this alive as far as the investigation is concerned until our mother is found one way or another. I want to thank you for sitting and watching over her home. We want to thank you. Have you heard any of that? Not only no, but heck no. So what are they doing? We know what one of them's doing. She wants to play word games. I have a few. I have a few words that I can share. Let's get the cards. Here we are back again, and I really hope I see you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for the season premiere of Help I'm Haunted. Oh, this season, you're going to hear better stories. I don't know if they're better, but they're just as good. You're going to hear a lot of stories. We're going to have a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see you. So please do me a favor, like and subscribe on this channel and on True Oracle, because you do not want to miss a thing. We have episodes that are coming out for you that all of you are going to love. So today we have this nice little, this is a fortune teller's deck. You know, back in the day, a couple hundred years ago when I was little, they had, anybody who read the regular playing cards was called a fortune teller. Honestly, I kind of like that better than I do psychic. I just don't like that word, but hey, it is what it is. Some of you were asking the other time, I'm going to turn these right side so you can see them. That is a heart card. Some of you are like, Zelda, that looks like a heart. We were talking about diamonds. Those are hearts. We've got clubs, and then we've got spades. So I just wanted to show you that these are kind of fun. I like them, and they're a nice size too. So we're going to put these to the side. I don't use them much, but I'm going to use them now. And this is my deck that I call the old boy. I've had him for decades, and I let him rest often because, the older we get, growing old is not for sissies, right? And it's not either for the cards. So I want to get a read on the family, on the Guthrie family et al. Can we say that? The Guthrie family. And I got to tell you something funny while I have you. Have you noticed that when you're talking in the crime community that you kind of say things? Well, today I had to go out and pick up a new internet router. Yeah, what a pain, but I did it, and it's all working fine. My son says, hey, Mom, can you pick us up some lunch? And I said, sure. And he goes, what do you got around you? And you know what I said? The usual suspects. What does that mean? All McDonald's, Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell. Nothing that I really want to eat, but my son was asking. I'll take a drink. But isn't it funny? Do you do that too? What do you see around you, Mom? Well, there's plenty of perps. What? Yeah, I know you all do too. I think it's funny. This card deck is going to, the energy is going to tell us a few things. So what do we need to know? Oh, there's a reverse card. And guess what? We're going to read it like that. I don't normally read cards in reverse, but we're going to read it like that. And you're going to see that these cards are well used and well loved. Now, isn't that amazing? Sometimes they just come out like that when they're supposed to. See, they do that. Someday I'll tell you the spooky experience that I had with this deck. And it was spooky. Kind of flipped me out a bit. All right. Got some special announcements tonight, too. You might want to come. Look at the skulls in this guy. Okay. Moisha, where are you, my darling? Here we are. Here we are. This Seven of Swords. Swords are air elements. They're communication, and they are our thoughts. Now, in the old days, obviously, we didn't have email or text or anything. It can be that, but at this point, it is all about, in this particular card, what we're thinking. And look, this guy's traveling pretty quick. He's on the move. He's on the move so much that he's actually managed to drop 2 swords, and he's just going to keep going. Why? He's looking over his shoulder because, well, he's thinking that he got away with something and doesn't understand that somebody is chasing him because they think they got away with it. Ah, that's amazing. And remember, I asked for the energy of the family, so I'm not saying anything. I'm just, this is entertainment purposes only. I'm a forensic tarot profiler. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a law enforcement, and you're all welcome to come to your own conclusions because I love you. Here is the 9, and you see these cards, but I love them. The 9 of Hearts. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, it is the 9 of Hearts. It is the 9 of Cups, water sign. Many people say that he looks like John Travolta. I'm not sure about that, but John, okay. He's sitting here very accomplished, believing, and you see the reason that he's with this card, is he's believing, yes, this is a confirmation. Yeah, it won't take long now. Things will die down. And especially if they find Nancy, this guy is going to be in trouble. The one that thinks that he got away with it. Circumstantial evidence is still evidence. And people can still be, and I'm saying people, remember, I'm careful. I'm not accusing anybody. People can still be prosecuted on circumstantial evidence. This is the yes card. That means your goal has been fulfilled. Your yes card. Now here, just take a look at this a minute. When a card is in reverse, it is safe to say most generally that the opposite is happening. The meaning of the card. The 4 little fellows in each corner are to represent the 4 Gospels. As far as I am concerned, they do. There's other thoughts about that, but that's for another day. This young lady is sitting here she's floating within this circle because she's within her own little world. And she has 2 wands, which she uses all 4 elements to her beck and call. And at this point, the world is her oyster. The world is her, I said one time, the world is your oyster, so shuck it. And that's exactly how I feel about it, because your world is your world. But in this particular case, when it's in reverse, your world may come crashing down on you. And I'm not talking about you, my darlings. I'm talking about this energy that we're talking about, this energy, the family dynamic, will their world come crashing down because something is coming up and I just don't. Yeah, well, you know how it is. The Two of Spades. The Two of Spades is all about separation. Now, could it be somebody in the family is separating and could be divorced, or have they separated themselves totally from family? It remains to be seen. But this tells the story. This Four of Hearts, all about hurt, resentment, hurt from the past, having that idea that feeling not good enough. The hearts are emotional. They're emotions. And having the heart by the spade. Spades in Cartomancy are not the healthiest cards. This is worrying. This card is worrying, and also it is a card of all about knowing what you're worth. But let's take this card a little further. It's a card of worrying to the point where your imagination is coming apart. It's unraveling. And here being by this world card, world crashing down on you, and your world feels like it's unraveling and you're worried. Well, you should be if you think that you're getting away with something. Just because, can I say, your little butt hurt over things? Ooh, Zelda, you are on point today. Six of Spades. And that Two of Swords. This Six of Spades is all about boredom. You're bored with life in general. You're bored with your job. You're bored. And there can be some delays with documents, letters. So whomever did this, if you are involved for your family, and I'm not saying that you are, but just know you may have thought this was going to all come about quicker than what it is, and it's not. You may be talking about a few more months, if not years. This Two of Swords. This energy, the tips going off the frame of this. So that means that the thoughts that these people remember, the swords are thoughts, communication, air elements, even though there's a water reference behind there. Because guess what? Each element overlaps the other. We wouldn't be able to function if it weren't like that. So double-edged sword can cut both ways. It can tear out, it can heal, it can tear down. It can cauterize a wound. But you see this little, I'm going to say blindfold that she has on here. And that little dot, that dot means a third eye is opening. So there's got to be some type of instinct that they are feeling at this point to understand that now they're worried because they're feeling that the world is crashing. The fact that the swords are going off the frame of the card truly means that this is a time in which they're not done yet. Things aren't put in place. It's not done yet. It's going to take a little while. And there's a wonderful timing card. And that timing card, the Ace of Swords, is basically saying, look, it's time to start thinking about things, and it's time to start wrapping this up, or it's time to start really getting going. The fact that we've got an ace here tells us that there could be some leadership. I'm hoping that there is in law enforcement. And here we are, the Jack of Hearts. Someone that is very immature, and someone who could definitely be directly involved with what has happened with Nancy, and they're worried about it. They're looking over their shoulder. Things are starting to creep in on them and get closer. Listen, when things are really busy, it's one thing, but when things go stone quiet, that's when perps need to start get worried. That's what's going on today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope I see you tonight. It's been a journey with this. I pray for Nancy. Thanks for watching.